Hello there, how are you? This is me again, Charlene Jane Embello, a BSAB freshman at Visayas State University main campus. On this video, we will learn about the Sulfur Cycle. So maybe you'll ask if why do we need to know about it? Later, you'll know. So stay tuned and enjoy learning while watching this video. Do you know what is sulfur and how important it is? Well, if not, sulfur is one of the components that make up proteins and vitamins. Proteins consist of amino acids that contain sulfur atoms. Sulfur is important for the functioning of proteins and enzymes in plants and in animals that depend upon plants for sulfur. But how about us humans? Why do we need sulfur? Our body needs sulfur to build and fix our DNA and protect our cells from damage that can lead to serious diseases such as cancers. Sulfur also assists our body to metabolize food and contributes to the health of our skin, tendons, and ligaments. Now, what is sulfur cycle? The sulfur cycle is a biogeochemical cycle consisting of various processes that together enable the movement of sulfur through different reservoirs like the atmosphere, biosphere, and lithosphere, and even in hydrosphere. The sulfur cycle is termed a biogeochemical cycle as the element in different oxidation states moves through various ecosystems on Earth, affecting both the biological and geological process. How important sulfur cycle is? The sulfur cycle is essential as it balances the concentration of sulfur in different reservoirs so as to make the Earth a hospitable place for life. Now, let's take a look at how sulfur cycles around the Earth. To begin with, sulfur stored below the ground goes through weathering, a process of breaking down or dissolving of rocks and minerals on Earth's surface, and followed by erosion that leads to the releasing of sulfur into the soil. The hydrological cycle plays a critical role in moving sulfur around. Sulfur oxide and hydrogen sulfide are released by natural processes like volcanic eruptions, hot springs, swamps, bogs, tidal tides, and the anaerobic decay of sulfur-containing biological material. Certain marine algae produces dimethyl sulfide, a volatile compound that enters the atmosphere as tiny droplets. When this reacts with oxygen gas, it forms sulfur oxide in the atmosphere. Human activities, like burning of fossil fuels such as coal and oil, contributes larger amount of sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere. Approximately 1/3 of all sulfur compounds and 99% of the sulfur dioxide reaching the troposphere comes from human combustion activities. Sulfur dioxide reacts with atmospheric oxygen to produce sulfur trioxide. Some sulfur trioxide reacts with tiny water droplets to form sulfuric acid. Then sulfur trioxide reacts with ammonia to produce sulfur salts. The winds carry droplets of sulfuric acid and particles of sulfate salts, which then falls to the earth in acid deposition or through fallout. By adding sulfur compounds to the air, the use of fossil fuels increases in the rate of acid deposition. Too much sulfuric acid in the rain or acid rain lowers the pH of soils, rivers, and damages organisms and reduces the productivity of plants. Moreover, plants get sulfur by taking up ions of sulfate salts from the soil. Then, animals now get sulfur by eating plants, and all living things release sulfur compounds when they die and decay. Sulfur does eventually fall back into the rivers, lakes, and then eventually to oceans. Some of the sulfur from oceans go back to the atmosphere through sea spray. It is the spray of seawater that forms when ocean waves crash or high winds are blowing. Remaining sulfur go to the ocean floor, form ferrous sulfide, which is responsible for black color of marine sediments. Then, the sulfur cycle starts again when a geological process like volcanic eruptions or earthquake happens again and the cycle repeats. Overall, sulfur can be observed as a diverse phenomena in our Earth system. Sulfur, even in a fraction as a single chemical element, became part of the whole life system and environment. So that's it, guys. If you want to delve more and dig deeper about the sulfur cycle, you can have your own research. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have some or even more takeaways from this video. Always remember to smile and know that you matter, just like the Sulfur Cycle. God bless.